Thank you so much for making time for us, Prince Thokozani Zulu. Good evening.
Evening to you, Clement. Evening to your viewers at home. And thanks for having me on this distinguished platform.
Was Prince Simakade at all surprised about the comments that were made by Brown Mogotsi this week at the Madlanga Commission?
In fact, we need to indicate that substantially the allegations leveled by Mr. Brown Mogotsi at the Madlanga Commission have been surprising insofar as they purport to suggest that His Majesty King Simakade or certain members of the Zulu royal family that are aligned to King Simakade are either associating with him, interacting with him, or cooperating with him. We wish to distance His Majesty from such allegations. Also, the insinuation that His Majesty opened a case against General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, that is not true. And it is important to mention that there was a case that was opened, a criminal case by Prince Mandlendoda Mazwendoda Jinya Zulu, who is the senior prince of Kwaminyamanzi Royal House, but it wasn't a case that was opened against General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Also, it's important to indicate that no information relating to the operations at Richards Bay Harbour or confidential information was provided by His Majesty or the Senior Prince of Kwaminyamanzi to Brown Mogotsi, and also to indicate that we have not received any assistance from Brown Mogotsi, either financial, logistical, or otherwise.
Yeah. Well, Prince Thokozani Zulu, if you will allow me, I'd like us to go back and take it, step by step, because there are a lot of things that you've just mentioned now. Let's first start with the issue of the case, because what Brown Mogotsi indicated to the Madlanga Commission was that there were cases that were opened. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, he alleged that there are cases relating to alleged intimidation, harassment, and attempted murder of members of the royal household associated with Prince Simakade, which were never investigated or acted upon by the SAPS. He also alleged that General Mkhwanazi sent the political killings task team to target the AmaZulu Prince Simakade Zulu's associates. So you are telling us this evening that that is a big fat lie.
No, I'm not saying it's a big fat lie. All what I'm indicating is the manner in which he puts it. He suggests that when Prince Mazwendoda opened the case, it was through his intervention. That is not the case.
Okay.
However, it is true that Prince Mazwendoda was harassed by police, that for the fear of his life, for his life, he elected to open a case in Midrand, which case was then transferred to KwaNongoma. And it's true that that case has not been investigated since August last year. It's true that a number of police officers attacked Enyogeni Royal Palace on the 16th of September 2022, and we have not received any feedback from the police relating to who authorized that operation, who commanded it, who are the members of the SAPS that were involved, and so on.
So you don't know if those police officers were members of the political killings task team. You just know that there were officers that have come to the home of Prince Simakade Zulu.
Yes, we don't know yet, but that is the matter that is going to be ventilated appropriately at an appropriate platform.
Mm-hmm. Does Prince Simakade Zulu or any of those close to him have interacted before with Brown Mogotsi? And I'm asking that question because he seems to have information about the behavior, quote unquote, of these police officers towards the associates of Prince Simakade Zulu. He seems to have information also about when the case was actually opened here in Johannesburg in Midrand, and then it had to be transferred all the way to KwaZulu-Natal. Do you know how he was able to have access to that information?
We believe that he had access to that information like any other information that he is in possession of relating to even operational issues of the intelligence. We believe that he sourced that information from his sources within the police. We believe that the reason why Brown Mogotsi has implicated His Majesty King Simakade is to divert adverse attention away from his conduct that is under scrutiny before the commission. Further, we have reasons to believe that his effort to implicate His Majesty is to tarnish the impeccable public standing of His Majesty King Simakade, so that if it happens that he goes down, he would then go down with His Majesty.
I mean, one of the wild allegations that he's made is that the brother of Prince Simakade is a CIA agent. And the way that he portrayed this, even at the Madlanga Commission, and he wasn't able, of course, to substantiate any of these claims, but the way that he was positioning it at the Madlanga Commission, and by also mentioning Prince Simakade as well, and how, you know, the West always wanted, because they've had interest, they've always had an interest in how things turn out in the Zulu royal family. The indication there was sort of like, well, maybe Prince Simakade as well believes that claim. Do you have any response to this wild claim that he's made that he has not been able to substantiate in as far as King Misizulu is concerned?
As you would have observed, Clement, it would appear to us no one takes Mr. Brown Mogotsi's testimony before the commission. It appears that he spews hogwash, because you'll recall that even senior advocate Matthew Choskalson pulverized the testimony that he presented before the commission. So we believe that like all other witnesses before the commission, he has to present evidence to that effect of whatever nature. And we further distance His Majesty or members of the Zulu royal family aligned to His Majesty relating to those allegations of Brigadier Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's association and His Royal Highness Prince Misizulu's association to the CIA. We have no dealings with Brown Mogotsi. In fact, His Majesty and in fact all of us have never seen him even from a bar of soap.
Yeah, look, you are one of the many people that he has mentioned at the Madlanga Commission who are probably shocked that he's somehow associating himself with them. Just to take you back to the matter of Richards Bay, because one of the things that he mentioned was that there was concern about the possible halting of coal exports from Richards Bay, and that's one of the reasons why now the West had an interest in this matter from the royal family. Are you able to clarify with us if King Simakade has any interests with that particular Richards Bay mine?
In fact, you will recall that the evidence that was presented by Mr. Brown Mogotsi was contradicted. For King Simakade, he wouldn't only be interested on a particular operation in the province of KwaZulu-Natal or the Zulu Kingdom, but does have interest in the entire Zulu nation and the issues that are facing the people of KwaZulu-Natal insofar as economic opportunities are concerned and development. But what was presented by Mr. Brown Mogotsi there is hogwash.
Do you have any plans to take him on? Of course, he was asked some really tough questions by the Madlanga Commission. They disputed most of what he said, as you say, even with some factual information that contradicts the information is provided. But given that you have said your concern just about the association he's claiming here and the comments that he has made, some of which are false because he seems to position himself as someone who intervened and assisted in the laying of criminal charges or the laying of criminal charges against some members of the SAPS. Do you think there's appetite here to take him on, or you're just dismissing what he said? You're not considering even any legal action against him?
We have indeed solicited advice from His Majesty's legal representatives, and we await their feedback on this matter, on what to do relating to these allegations, this far-fetched allegation.
Well, Prince Thokozani Zulu, thank you so much for speaking to us.